Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back with episode 20 of the Around the League series, and today we're covering the Miami Heat, and I did bring on a special guest for this video. Why don't you introduce yourself?
You can't see me, but I'm Tebowing right now.
That is Burns, Samer Burns.
That is me, I is him.
Yes, and he's a big Heat fan, and I'll leave his channel link in the description. You should go check him out. Makes awesome videos, and I decided to bring him on because he's been wanting to come on to do the Miami Heat for a while now. So I'll just let you kind of talk about them since you probably know a little bit more about them than I do. So go ahead and describe them.
Well, looking at this team, it's obviously you have the big three, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Bosh, as bad as it looks like he plays some games, surprisingly, he's having one of his, not scoring-wise, but he's shooting very well this season. LeBron, don't even talk about him. He's a clear-cut MVP at this point. D-Wade, I think he's having the best season of his career, especially with him taking a backseat to LeBron James. And for him to have the season he's having is awesome. Transaction-wise, they haven't really done much. They've signed some scrub players, except Chris Anderson, who is my, 6th or 7th favorite player on the Heat right now. But I think this team's they're having fun playing basketball. I think you look at their Harlem Shake video, they're just having fun. I think winning the championship last year, it really took a lot off their back. They didn't have to they don't have to worry much about critics anymore. They know they can do it. They know they can make a run, and I think it's definitely shown with their 18 going on 19 hopefully tonight game winning streak that this team is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I do especially agree with you with the D-Wade thing. Statistically, it won't look like his greatest season when we look back on it 10, 15 years down the road, but the fact that he's kind of taken a back seat to LeBron and let LeBron emerge as the alpha dog of this team, which I think was a slight problem in 2010, 2011 when they did lose to the Mavericks in the finals. I think they were unsure of where or who was really the alpha dog of this team, and I think that it's a big step for Wade to kind of let LeBron take over and have Wade take a back seat, even though he's really come on the last, I'd say, 6 weeks or so and really emerged to look like the old D-Wade. Now, we had some thoughts about him being washed up, being a little bit too old, maybe losing a step, but it turns out it really looks like he was just a little bit unhealthy, just came off that knee surgery over the summer. Looks like he's finally starting to get that athleticism back and really becoming the old D-Wade.
Yeah, and you look at the rotation they run. They brought in Ray Allen, who is obviously old and is a defensive liability, but he can knock down the three as he's got 4 or 5 game-winning shots that he basically taken away from the Celtics. But you look at the rotation. They don't run that very deep. You'll see Rashard Lewis come in. I haven't seen James Jones play in I don't know how long. Norris Cole is solid point guard off the bench. You see Joel Anthony every once in a while. So they play a lot of guys on their roster, and I think this team just works really well together.
Yeah, I think this team is built almost perfectly. You have your two best players are dribble drive, penetration players, and then you probably have, I'd say, him or Larry Bird in LeBron being the best passing forwards of all time. And, when you have a guy like LeBron who can drive in, force double and triple teams, and he kicks it out to, incredible three-point shooters like Ray Allen and Shane Battier and Mike Miller and even Mario Chalmers, he's really the perfect fit for a point guard on that team. And even Chris Bosh has emerged as a guy who can hit an 18-footer, can hit a 20-footer, can even hit a 3 once in a while. So he's almost adjusted his game to fit in with LeBron and D-Wade. So I really like the way this team is built kind of inside out, a lot like those old Magic teams were with Dwight Howard. And I also like what you said about the team chemistry thing, having fun playing basketball. LeBron James in that 2009-2010 Cavaliers team, when they were always doing those pregame, photo things, and they really looked like they gelled as a group. And I see the same thing with this team, and I see this team going further than that Cavaliers team did. But just having fun with basketball again. And I think LeBron got away from that in the past couple of years, trying to live up to everybody's expectations. It seems like he's finally just had, like you said, a whole weight lifted off his shoulders, and he's having fun again. And I think that's perfect for him because he's really taken his game to the next level this year.
That's what's scary is LeBron keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's amazing to think that he's still progressing. He's only, 20 or...
He's 28, 29.
Yeah, so, he's at his prime, and he could even progress a little bit more. It's incredible to think.
And then you look at their road through the East, it's almost easier than last year, their path to the finals.
I would say
Obviously,
it is, definitely.
Indiana stands in the way, but I think the last matchup we saw that Indiana isn't that much of a problem when Miami's playing their best basketball. So you look at their path through the East is pretty much like the path to the NBA Finals it's pretty set in stone.
Yeah, I don't see anyone in the East competing with this team. I mean, like you said, I think the last game against the Pacers in Miami showed that those 2 wins, might have been kind of back when the Heat were in cruise control throughout those first few months of the regular season. Now that they've turned it up, they've gotten into kind of playoff mode. I think that the Heat are going to, probably, I wouldn't say easily defeat the Pacers. I think it'd be like a 6-game series. But, I don't think that the Pacers have too big of a threat to the Heat. The Knicks have cooled off. Every other team, that's kind of a tier 2 team in the East. Bulls, Nets, even the Celtics, I really don't see any of those teams being able to beat the Heat 4 times out of 7, especially if the Heat are going to have home court advantage. They have one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. So
I believe they've lost all 3 games at home this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And, it's like I said.
Like, you look at them, they have the best record in the entire league right now. I believe they're like 1 win and like have 1 less loss than the Spurs or something, and the entire playoffs runs through Miami right now.
Yep.
And then I think looking at the winning streak, they've just dominated pretty much every game. And the games they struggled were against like the lower tier teams.
Yep. So do you think this team is going to win the NBA Finals?
I definitely do, and I'm trying to look at this from an unbiased perspective, but I definitely think the way this team's playing now, I think they're going to be raising the trophy for a 2nd year in a row.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't see any team that's going to stop the Heat at this point, playing the best basketball they've played as a group over the last 3 years right now, and taking that momentum into the playoffs in a month or 2. That's really going to help them. They're going to dispose of everyone in the East, and I think that the Thunder or the Spurs could probably give them a tough matchup, but like I said, I don't see anyone beating this team 4 times out of 7.
And you look at Jarvis Varnado, he's definitely the unsung hero of this team.
Yeah, clearly. All right, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Thanks for coming on with me, Burns. Like I said, go check out his channel. He makes awesome videos. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. So you have any last words?
Heat in 5.
All right. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. So I'm out. Peace.